we have learned about the gymnosperm. Okay, so today we will practice some question from there. So our first question is the based on the character of the gymnosperms, and the gymnosperms are characterized by what is there are few characters, that is multiflagellate sperms, naked seeds, winged seed, and seed inside fruit. What is the characteristic? Which one is the characteristics of gymnosperm? Okay. From here, which one is the characteristics of gymnosperm? Multiflagellate sperms. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So you so which one? Multiflagellate sperms? No, this is not the general character of the gymnosperm. Okay, of course, the multiflagellate condition is found in some of the cycas and related species. Okay, those cilia actually not flagella also. In a higher plant, the sperms, so they don't have multiflagella. Okay, naked seed is the characteristics of gymnosperms. So gymnosperms are the naked seeded plant. Winged seed. This is not in all. Of course, in the pine also seeds they have wing, and some other angiosperms, so they have wing. Here is the seed, and they have a very thin paper-like structure by which the seed also can float in air and it is dispersed, but it is not the general character of the gymnosperm. Seed inside fruit. No, this cannot. Seed inside fruit is the character of angiosperm. Is it? That is the covered seeded plant, but the gymnosperm is naked seeded plant. Okay, number two. From here, there are four statements which is some characters. Identify the incorrect statement. Okay, identify the incorrect statement. Just a minute. Hello, Nikhilda. Good morning. বলুন। হ্যাঁ 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 ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে ওকে sorry there was one important phone call okay this is here identify the incorrect statement with regard to gymnosperms means from here four are the character of gymnosperm but one is not. In gymnosperm, ovule remain exposed before and after fertilization. This is the correct feature, is it? And the giant redwood tree, sequoia, redwood tree, sequoia is the tallest gymnospermic tree. This is also correct. This sequoia is the largest tree, actually. Means the largest in the sense of the tallest tree. Okay, among gymnosperm, angiosperms. In the angiosperm, it is eucalyptus is tallest. Okay, eucalyptus, eucalyptus plant these days you will find it uh, along the roadside also it is planted. So eucalyptus is angiosperm. Angiosperm. In gymnosperm, it is sequoia. All right. This is also known as redwood tree, sequoia. This is correct. Gymnosperms are homosporous. This one is not correct. The leaves in gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extreme environmental condition. Extreme environmental condition means very hot, very cold. Okay, those extreme condition on either side. The gymnosperms are not homosporous. They are all heterosporous. Hmm. Gymnosperms, gymnosperms and angiosperm. These two are totally heterosporous. Okay, the in pteridophyte, heterospory has started from pteridophyte. I think you remember in pteridophyte, fight a few are heterosporous. In bryophyte, no heterospory, all are homosporous. Means they produce only one type of spore. Okay, one kind of spore. So all the spore produced by a plant, particular species, that is, all are similar in their size and their physiological behavior. Okay, so our answer is number 3 is incorrect statement. Come to slide number 3. This was asked during the, it is in NEET 2016. This question was asked. Conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental condition. That is okay. Though that day I told that though conifers, they are growing in the colder areas. Usually in the hilly areas, as you see here also in Shillong. No, here rainfall also is very good. Humidity is quite good, and but still they show the xerophytic character. Okay, so tolerate by which way they tolerate? Conifer, extreme environmental condition, broad leaves, broad hardy leaves, superficial stomata, thick cuticle, and presence of vessels. Due to which character they can tolerate the extreme condition?
Option 3, sir.
Option 3, only one of this one. See, broad leaves. Broad leaves means if the leaf surface area is more, then number of stomata will be more, is it? More stomata, bigger is the leaf, stomata are more. More stomata means more transpiration. Transpiration, that is water loss. Okay, they have more transpiration, so more water loss. and due to this the plant cannot survive, so they have to develop cuticle. Cuticle of course is one character. Here it is superficial stomata. Superficial stomata means direct directly on the surface of the leaf. Okay, then means they will get more sunlight, direct sunlight, and direct sunlight will increase the rate of transpiration, so water evaporation will be more. So superficial stomata is against that extreme condition, so they have opposite is sunken stomata. Sunken stomata is a xerophytic character. Sunken stomata is how usually those there in the lower epidermis. Say the epidermis is not smooth. Epidermis is having the small grooves. Okay, epidermis. This cavities are there, and the stomata are present on in these cavity portion. So what is happening that these stomata are not getting direct sunshine, so they can reduce the rate of transpiration. Sometimes what happen in this cavity, okay, there are epidermal hairs also. These epidermal hair also block the sunlight. Okay, so there is further reduction in the transpiration. But actually, they have to open the stomata because they have to exchange gas for the photosynthesis and respiration. So stomata they cannot close. No? So they find ways that the transpiration should be more. So in case of broadleaves, it cannot support the xerophytic character. Instead of broadleaf, small leaves are usually in xerophytes, the leaves are small. Okay, so small leaves means less exposed surface area, and so the number of stomata will be less, and that will be the reduction in the water loss. Presence of vessel, of course, there is no link much with the rate of transpiration. Come to next question. The giant redwood tree. Say now it is for you seems to be very easy question, is it? Seems to very easy question because we are going through the gymnosperm. But when it is a lot of question from different topics, in that case, if such type of question is given, then it is difficult. The giant redwood trees, actually botanical name is Sequoia sempervirens, is an which group of plant? This is a gymnosperm. So frequently this type of question is asked, that giving the name of 4, 5, 6 or more plants, okay, botanical name or common name, and from which group it is, whether it is algae or bryophyte or pteridophyte or gymnosperms, or within the this classes also. So next, come to next question. This was asked in CBSE AIPMT 2015. Okay, in which of the following gametophyte is not independent, free living? Gametophyte is not independent. Gametophyte depend on the sporophyte. So this is Funaria is Bryophyte Moss. This one is Bryophyte Moss. Okay. So in moss, what happened? Gametophyte is independent. Is it? Main plant body is the gametophyte and it is free living. Markensia is liverwort. This is also bryophyte. So here also the main plant body is the gametophyte and free living. Teres. Teres is, this is fern. Okay. This one is fern pteridophyte. Pteridophyte. And in pteridophyte, gametophyte and sporophyte both are independent. Pinus is conifer, the gymnosperm. And here the gametophyte has no independent life. So in gymnosperm, and angiosperm, gametophyte has no independent life, free life. No free life. Okay. Come to number 6. Number 6. Select the correct statement. Which one is correct out of these 4? Salvinia, okay, this should be underlined. Salvinia gingopinus. All are gymnosperm. Which one is correct? Sequoia is frequently coming in the question. Sequoia is one of the tallest trees. The leaves of gymnosperm are not well adapted to extremes of the climate. Gymnosperms are both homosporous and heterosporous, not well adapted to extremes of climate. So which one is the correct statement?
Option 2, sir.
Yes, option 2 is the correct statement. Sequoia is the tallest, one of the tallest tree. Here, this one is partially correct. See, Jingo and Pinus, these two are gymnosperm. These two are gymnosperms. But the salvinia, this one is fern, pteridophyte. Salvinia is a pteridophyte. It has heterosporous forms. So here it is wrong. The leaves of gymnosperm is well adapted for the extremes of the climate. Here, not homosporous, just we have learned. Okay, come to next question number 7. Which of the following gymnosperm have coralloid root associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria? Coralloid root. Which plant has? Pinus.
Option 2, sir.
Uh,
Option 2.
option 2. Option 2. It is cycas. Cycas has two types of root, no? Normal and coralloid. And the coralloid root has nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, that is anabina. Okay, they have anabina. There is in the root, if section is cut, there are there is a ring of a special type of cells which is completely different from the rest of the parenchyma cells. So they are elongated, and in this portion, in these cells, there is cyanobacteria. And due to this, for fixing nitrogen, this root, it grow above the ground, not inside the soil. Above the soil it grow, because they have to take the nitrogen from the air. Question 8. Which is not a feature of cycas? Not a feature of cycas means three statement, three are feature of cycas, the one is not. Unbranched stem. This is a character of cycas because cycas has a stem is unbranched. Cycas is palm-like. Cycas is palm-like tree. Okay, slow growing palm-like trees. So they don't have branch stem. Peanut leaves in the cycas, in all other gymnosperms. Okay, leaves are simple. In all gymnosperms, the leaves are simple, but in cycas, the leaves are pinnately compound. It has compound leaf. Okay, so the cycas is unique in many characters. Male and female cone may be born on different trees. This is also correct. Male and female cones may be born on different trees. Actually, in cycas, male plant and female plant, plants are different. Okay, male plant and female plants are different. So here that is why one of the cause that the cycas the very less in the cycas reproduction process is very slow, chances is very less, they do not increase their population very quickly, because the male and female plants are different, and the pollination require some of the agent. So that's why it is not that much advantageous for the cycas plant. Most of the cycas plant we see here, okay, they are mainly female plants, mainly female. Archegonia is absent. This one is the, this is not a character of cycas. Okay, so which is not a character of cycas? This is number 4. Actually, Archegonia is the female sex organ of Bryophyte, Pteridophyte, and Gymnosperm. Archegonia, gonia is the female reproductive structure in Bryophyte, Pteridophyte, and Gymnosperm. Okay, so this one is not the correct option. Question number 9. In gymnosperm, the leaves are well adapted to that similar question that we have done before also. Withstand to extremes of temperature, humidity, and wind, which is are the xeric character, that is xerophytic character of conifers. Okay, xerophytic character of conifer. In the this conifers means that is the cone bearing plants. Their reproductive structure is organized into cone or strobilus. Okay, cone or strobilus. So that is conifers, and here it is conifers. That pine is a common one. In pine, this needle-like leaves. Yes, in pine tree, needle-like leaf is there. Needle-like leaf, what does it do? Reduce the surface area. Thick cuticle, this is also character of the xerophyte. Sunken stomata is the character of xerophyte. So all these three characters are the for the extremes at climatic condition. So our answer will be number 4. Next is question in Pinus, male cone bears a large number of what? Male cone will bear large number of, cone is made of, cone is made of sporophylls. Okay, So in pinus, male cone bears a large number of sporophyll. But which sporophyll? Male. Male should have microsporophyll. Always remember, micro one is male and mega or macro is female. Okay, so it is the macrosporophyll, and the female cone, this one forms the female cone. In the pine tree, that the cone you get, those are the female cone. Throughout the year, these female cones are there, and the male cone only, they are very small, they are produced in bunch, and during this period you can see the male cone on the pine tree. So that is why what they are producing, the pollen grain are yellowish in color, and the pollen grain has wing also. Pine pollen has wings, and with that wings they float in air and are distributed and are transferred for long distant areas also. So this is come to next. In gymnosperm, microspore developed into male gametophyte generation, which microspore develop into male gametophytic generation, which one is correct, is highly reduced and confined to only a limited number of cells, is highly developed, has an independent life, both 1 and 3. Which one will be correct?
Option 1, sir.
Option 1. Yes, it is option 1. This is not highly developed. This one is that microspore. Okay, microspore is the that female gametophyte, and this microspore, when it develop, it produce one prothelial cell, and then generative cell and tube cells. So it is altogether 2 to 3 cells, about 3 cells. Okay, this is structure. Initially, the microspore is single cell structure, so it is limited to a number of only a limited number of cells. This is highly reduced, not highly developed, has an independent life. No, in gymnosperm, in angiosperm, gametophytic stage has no independent life. 12. In gymnosperm, reduced gametophyte is called, the same question. Reduced gametophyte is endospore, pollen grain, ovule, megasporangium. So it is the reduced gametophyte is the pollen grain. Okay, because if it is ovule is not totally gametophyte. If we see the ovule has a nucellus, and it has integument, nucellus and integument. So these are sporophytic. From the nucellus developed the megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis, then develop megaspore, that is the gametophyte. And female gametophyte is multicellular structure, more number of cells, several time more, maybe 100 times more cells in the female gametophyte. So here it is, the reduced gametophyte is pollen grain.
Y ingeniero.
13. The cone bearing megasporophyll with ovule. A megasporophyll, the cone which bear megasporophyll, and that megasporophyll contain the ovule. Hello, is called, this will be male strobili, female strobili, megasporangia and microsporangia. This is cone. Okay, cone is strobilus. Is it? Strobili is plural of strobilus. So it is female cone. Is it? Ovule is there, and it is mega. Mega is female. So ovule containing ovule. So this one is female strobili. 14. In gymnosperm, the nucellus is protected by envelope, and this composite structure is called, just now I have drawn the structure. I drew the structure. This one, nucellus, and the envelope is there. Okay, so what it is called? The composite structure is the, what is that composite structure? It is the ovule. In the ovule is megasporangium, and this ovule consists of, main body is the nucellus, and around that there is integument or cover. Next question. In gymnosperm, the multicellular female gametophyte is retained within, female gametophyte is multicellular. This one is retained within the megasporangium. It is female, so it is in the megasporangium. Archigonia developed within the female gametophyte. This female gametophyte, this one is also known as endosperm, because it provide nutrition to the developing embryo. And the last question, this one is a little bit long one. Here, consider the following statement regarding gymnosperms and choose the correct option. First statement. In gymnosperm, the male and female gametophyte have an independent existence. Second, the multicellular female gametophyte is retained within the megasporangium. Third, the gymnosperms are heterosporous. Of these, which option will be correct?
Option 4, sir.
Option 4. 2 and 3 are true, but 1 is false. This one, this one has no independent existence, is it? No independent existence. Multicellular female gametophyte is written within megasporangium. This is true. The gymnosperms are heterosporous. So 2 and 3 are correct and 1 is wrong. 2 and 3 are true and 1 is false. So this one is our correct answer. Okay. So do you have anything to ask regarding the gymnosperms, or we will come to the next topic. Next topic means we will start with the angiosperm. Okay. Any question? Think quickly. Hello. You don't have any. Then let us come to the new one, new topic. We'll start new page. This will be angiosperms. Okay. Angiosperms. This one is also called they are known as flowering plant because their reproductive structures are present in a special structure in flower. They forms the flowers. This angiosperm is also the covered seeded plant. Seeded plants, because the seeds are protected within fruit, or here the seed which develop from the ovules are protected, ovules are covered within ovary. Is it? This ovary develop into fruit, and the ovule into seed. So this is, so we can say them also fruit plant, but this fruit plant sometime for our general talk, the fruit plants are little bit confusing, because fruit we take to those only like banana, guava, mango, papaya, is it? Those which we eat usually ripe one without cooking, is it? They are the fruit plant. So, but here in angiosperms, because they produce fruit. Fruit. Why they produce fruit? Because they have ovary. Is it? This angiosperms are most successful plant group, are most successful plant group. Okay, because they have adapted to all types of environmental condition and habitat. They are very much flexible and all sort of habitat. This is whether it is aquatic, terrestrial, life. In the terrestrial also, they can grow in the desert areas also, in normal condition also. Low temperature, very low temperature to high temperature. That's why they can grow everywhere and they have adapted the life. If in this group only, due to this adaptation, we can find that herbs, shrubs, and trees, okay, all sort of things are there. In gymnosperm, gymnosperms are not that successful because gymnosperm, all the gymnosperms are terrestrial, only land life, and they are tree species only. Shrubs are very less, okay, mostly trees. Climber, only a few, two, three climbers are there. So their adaptation ability is very, very less. For the survival, every species has to be very much flexible and change. They should have the capacity to change according to their habitat. One who has more flexibility, adaptability, they will survive better. They will spread. And that's why in the world now we can see that it is the angiosperm which has occupied most of the area, whether it is in water, whether it is in land, whether it is in desert, or it is in hill, in in the snow areas, anywhere, that everywhere it is the angiosperms. They have, they are growing and they have adapted that life. This quick change is there. Okay. So this is the present day, is it is the age of angiosperm. In the remote past, there was, when there was only pteridophyte, the climate was such that pteridophyte they have adapted. They spread, they evolved and spread and established themselves. That was age of the pteridophyte. Okay, after that came the age of gymnosperm, when gymnosperm species were more dominant on this earth, and gradually, as the gymnosperms are slow growing also, and they do not change themselves that much, and that's why they are gradually shrinking their distribution. Many of these species have been already become extinct. And another thing is the number of plant genera and species in angiosperm is far, far less than the number of species in the gymnosperm is far, far less than the number of species in angiosperm. And this has developed due to the faster mutation in the angiosperm. Mutation is very fast and they are undergoing so as the mutation is there, so there is a new species is evolving. So this is this way the angiosperm is very, very successful. This angiosperm, if we see, microscopic angiosperm is also there. There is a plant, Wolfia. Wolfia almost submicroscopic. This one is submicroscopic. very smallest plant in size, and there is giant also. Okay, the tallest is eucalyptus, and in between there are many. Okay, so they have and they are very hardy also. They can bear the extreme of the climates. So this way the angiosperm has successfully growing on this earth and changing. This angiosperms, of course, this one has been two group in their seed. Within the seed there is embryo, and how many cotyledon in the embryo? There is this angiosperm has been divided into monocotyledon ledon and dicotyledon. Monocotyledon and dicotyledon. Two, that is embryo have two cotyledon dicot, and embryo has two cotyledon, one cotyledon. Next, say if we see the here also the plant body is main plant is the sporophyte, and sporophytic plant body is differentiated into true root, stem, and leaves. Gametophyte has no independent life like the gymnosperms. In the reproduction, if we see in the reproduction, there is uh, surprisingly in angiosperm there is a lot of vegetative reproduction. Okay, this is also one of the cause that the angiosperm plants are surviving. Okay, in many plant we can see the vegetative reproduction. In gymnosperm, vegetative reproduction is almost nil. Very few plant with a very lot of care, then only the vegetative reproduction takes place. They have sexual reproduction only. Okay, the reproduction which is naturally oogamous, and they are heterosporous. Male is male reproductive structure is the stamen. Within the stamen there is anther. Okay, and within the stamen anther is there. Anther here developed microspore mother cell, or you can say pollen mother cell. This undergoes meiosis and produce pollen grain or microspore. Okay, and this one is haploid. So it is the stamen. A stamen has the general structure that one stalk, and at the tip there is anther. This is anther, and this one is filament. Within the anther, microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell developed that undergo meiosis and form the pollen grain or the microspores, which is haploid. This one is the beginning of the gametophytic generation. Okay, I think it is time. Today we will stop it here. In next class I will continue, and with this also some question also we will discuss. So if you have any query, otherwise I will stop sharing this screen. You practice at home the questions from this plant kingdom. All right. So bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.